But moving on, I'd say to 7B.
Oh yeah, okay, so...
We should talk about the trailer, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
So let me get a good view of what the things have been written down.
What we have is the trailer, though. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
We have the trailer and we have some episode titles.
And rumours.
Yeah.
And set picks.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot.
Yeah, we got stuff.
So, Liam, what you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about the Cyberman
So the Cyberman episode is kind of the one we know the most about, I guess. We know that it's being directed by Neil Gaiman, which is a big deal.
Is he directing it?
Well, written.
I was like directing. He's a writer.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman episodes.
Neil Gaiman episodes are generally good.
And I think the title is very interesting.
Yeah, the last Cyberman doesn't exactly... There seem to be a lot of Cyberman in it.
No, I think it means the last of... Yeah, it's the last Cyberman. It's not the last Cybermen or the last of the Cybermen or something like that.
So,
okay, I'm confused
in
now.
a lot of interviews and stuff, Stephen Moffat said that he wrote it, or that they decided to write this episode to kind of emphasize how creepy the Cybermen are, because they hadn't done anything to show how creepy the idea of like taking a person and putting them in a metal suit, taking away all their emotions.
A lot more angry in the trailer.
Yeah, they seem to be like fighting.
Give me that mace.
Yeah, give me that mace.
But I'm just glad that they're making him quiet again.
Yeah,
Because I've been kind of tired of the Cyberman going. It's just like, alright.
it doesn't make any sense. They must be able to turn it off though, because in plenty of episodes they sneak up on people without them noticing. So they must.
That's just bad continuity.
Yeah.
Wheels on their feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. That they probably have like little wheels that pop out of their heels, like Heelys.
Or they just like sort of shimmy along when they don't want to make noise.
The new design of them.
Yeah, I like the new
really
design of
cool.
them. It is.
Yeah.
It's like
we
Iron
don't have
Man.
the stupid C on the chest anymore.
Well, they got rid of that already, which
Yeah.
I didn't understand. They've got so we've had a few episodes now with Cybermen that look like the Cybermen, but they don't have the C on them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not implied. Are they the Mondas and they just look exactly like the Cybermen, or are they the Cybermen?
I really don't know.
Decided. I think this episode
In the
is
first
the
place,
Mondas ones.
in the first place, like that's going back to like end of season 2. I don't get how those Cybermen are still around in this universe.
Yeah.
Like
They're in the parallel universe, yeah.
no, but at the end of the episode, the void or whatever sucked them all back in, so they're all in the void. So how are they here? How are there any of those Cybermen around? Because that doesn't make any sense.
No, but wasn't it implied that they had started doing conversions?
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. That was my excuse for it, that they'd started doing
Because like in
conversions.
Torchwood,
So
they had Cyberwoman.
yeah,
That episode
but I
where
mean
one
that
was
they
packed
maybe
in
got like 6 or 7 of them.
I'd say it was a bit
Well,
more.
I'd say it was.
I'd imagine they had the whole.
You know what I
planet
mean?
under
You know what I
control.
mean, though. Like, I mean,
But
where'd they all go then? You know,
London Underground.
everything's in the
Everything
London
goes to the
Underground.
London Underground when it needs to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they never did quite establish. Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
I don't understand because I didn't see the Christmas special. How did the Cybermen end up in Victorian London?
They didn't really say. They didn't really explain it at all.
So
They
wait,
fell through a crack in time or
let's
something. I don't know.
follow the chronology of the
Oh.
Cybermen. They come from a parallel universe, and then they fight the Daleks, and then most of them get sucked into the void.
Yeah. Then
Some of them-
somehow
some
they
of
get
them
to
escape
Victorian
to
London.
Victorian London. They build a giant
How they
Cyberman,
manage that, I don't know.
and there's this whole thing with this woman has a lovely brain and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. He stops them, and then they somehow. When's the next time we see them? Is the next time we see them?
There's a
The
Christmas special
no, the
last year,
Pandorica opens.
wasn't it?
No, it is. It's the Pandorica opens. Is the next time you see them. The
Yeah.
one in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason the Alliance, which they never really got back to that whole Alliance thing.
How they formed that in the first place, you know.
Leave a Cyberman in
And
Stonehenge.
for what we know, the
Mhm.
Cybermen and Daleks can't stand each other.
They
Yeah.
can't.
Like basically, like in the whole Void episode, they're like, "You're here, we're here. Let's all fight with humans in between." That's
But
basically
yeah,
what
so
it was.
they're there in that episode. One is get killed, and then they're just there
Mm-hmm.
with the Alliance. Then somehow they have space. They're just doing nothing, and then Roy comes to their ship, and the Doctor blows up all their ship, which I thought was cool, but kind of out of character.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything, but he blew up all their
No.
ships.
They could have been
It doesn't
sitting
like
down with their
Cybermen.
families, their cyber
And then-
families.
Yeah,
and then-
cyber
dinner.
babies.
And then
yeah.
the next episode is Closing Time,
Yeah.
which
That
it's
was
implied,
a really good episode.
Like in that episode, wasn't it implied that the ship crashed there a long time ago.
Yeah. So they must have been Mondas.
It must have been Mondas, but they look like Cybus.
Yeah, I think that was just cheap. Cheaper to make them look like that on their part. But even I would have rather they had them redesigned.
That's what it feels like.
That was the plan, to have them redesigned then.
Yeah. But then they didn't, so that kind of makes it look really stupid. It doesn't explain then why do the Mondas look like the Cybus, and then now they look different
again. Yeah. You can say the same about any classic monsters they brought back. Bar the Daleks, they all look totally different now. You know?
But most of them were just... Okay, they kind of came up with reasons, like they just implied that, those were just suits they were wearing.
Yeah.
But Cybermen are their suit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense.
Well,
like the biggest thing with these ones is that, like, even if you say they're different, but it's still the same group. They've just changed. But with this Mondas and the Parrot and the Cybus, they're from completely different universes. They have completely different origins. So why do the Mondas suddenly decide to make their design the exact same as one from a parallel universe?
Yeah, I think it might be like, the Borg, the way they they travel around looking for other planets and races to add to their own collective. So they just acquire new knowledge, and then when they have the new knowledge,
so you think
improve themselves.
Cybus,
so
Mondas.
The Mondas Cyberman might have seen the Cyberman and said, you know what, they're better. Let's look like that from now on.
Because they're noisy.
Exactly. But they might have said, we'll look like that from now on. And then again, they're after evolving again in the next episode. And I mean, that's the easiest way to explain it away as a fan. But let's be honest, it's just the fact that they didn't have money.
Yes, it is. But anyway, on to the episode. So we have no idea what the plot is, really.
No.
All we know is there's Cybermen.
Yeah, in a castle, and Warwick Davies and some army people are there.
And Warwick Davies is named Porridge.
Yes, that's what we know. And River has been seen on set, so she's probably going to be in the episode as well.
Ah, okay. Whoa, this will be the first River episode not written by Stephen Moffat.
Oh yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, if anybody else is going to write for her, then it should be Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
But
so
that's really cool.
So, like, going back to the title, I got nothing.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I don't understand what it could mean.
No. Now, going back to the trailer in the first place, we know that there's the Ice Warriors episode as well. And we're speculating that that's episode 8 because that's the only one yet to get a title.
And the titles match.
No. They really don't.
I heard early on that it was going to be called the Ice War.
So that could be
the Cold War.
The
That
Cold
was what
War,
it was called.
which it works when it's set on a submarine. I really like that idea.
That was it.
But,
I don't know why I was calling it
and
Ice.
the person being choked by snow.
I don't think that has to do with the Ice Warriors episode.
No.
Although maybe they might tie it in, just because it's an ice episode, they'll have.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm wondering about the Ice Warriors. When they've had a snow-themed villain for Christmas, and they're planning on, it looks like they're going to be bringing him back for the episode 13. What?
Maybe.
Yeah.
At least now they'd have no mercy.
Because you were saying the Great Intelligence was an episode with the Yetis.
Yeah. So the Yeti, again, is another ice-themed villain. Having the Ice Warriors as well is going to be a really recurring theme right throughout the whole cold thing.
Yeah.
But I get it might be just the idea for this half of the season. Cold is just a recurring thing,
for some reason.
Yeah, I mean the TARDIS, the villains are all cold. They'll probably go to a snowy place at some point.
Let's bring the Ood back.
Yeah, to sing a song.
The Ood back to sing a song. Okay, that's a weird request. But yeah, so it looks like this episode will feature the most amount of corridors and running of any Doctor Who episode. Like the ultimate tribute to running in corridors.
Oh yeah, just from the trailer, that's what it looks like anyway.
Oh, we're to talk about the weirdest thing about that the Ice Warrior episode in the shot is the new blue, purple.
Yeah, there was a blue sonic screwdriver in it. That's different.
What is that? It didn't look. You can't get a really good look at it because it's kind of blurry.
It could have just been a torch. But it was too small to be like a regular torch.
No, it was definitely shaped. It looks like an all silver version of his current one, but with a blue light on it, with a purpley blue light on it. So, is it his old new one just painted silver?
Maybe. We don't know. We really don't.
Borg Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the Doctor's a Borg.
He looked just like he was Captain of the Borg.
Yeah.
Just like
7 of 9.
It looks kind of like a cyborgy version of your man Jex from the Town Commonwealth's tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
But
I doubt that's what it is.
I'm just saying it looks like that.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if anyone else in that scene had that scene in the trailer. Yeah, you can't tell if anybody else in it has Borg stuff on their face either, as well.
I like the way we're saying Borg. And if anyone listening who's not a Doctor Who or Star Trek fan,
Yeah.
the Borg are not
from
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Who.
They're
No,
from Star
they're
Trek.
from Star Trek, so that's why it's
version
weird.
Of the Cybermen,
Yeah.
but they are parasites and they do.
Yeah, I love that there was actually a thing that
They're
when
awesome.
they brought back Doctor Who.
Mhm.
Certain Star Trek fans thought that Cybermen were ripping off the phrase
Assimilated. Yeah, no, they claimed that in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star
I
Trek
think
stole
that's
that.
funny. Star Trek fans are funny.
Yeah. Silly Star Trek fans.
But yeah, so what else was weird? Borg, Doctor, Doctors. Oh, the Doctor's outfit. You want?
Oh yeah, the Doctor's outfit. I like the way they're changing the outfit.
You said that. I was like, I
It's
like
about
how they're
time.
changing the outfit.
Yeah. No, but I
It's
think
so
like
bad.
in the classic series, say Third Doctor or
Actually-
Fourth Doctor, they always wore different clothes, but they always had a similar thing that tied them all together. Like the
bow
third,
tie.
the Third Doctor loved his frills. I mean, he could be wearing a totally different outfit every episode,
Actually-
but they'd always be something frilly about it.
Notice the outfit he has in the trailer. It's very like the Second Doctor's outfit, which is again tying into your
Yeah.
whole Second Doctor thing.
Yeah,
And the Ice Warriors were introduced with the Second Doctor
they were.
and the Cybermen.
Mm-hmm.
It's all coming
They're
together.
repeating the whole show all over again. From here
Yeah.
on, it'll just be all the same.
Yep.
They'll just be doing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. They've run out of ideas, everyone. No, but yeah, I like.
No, but I think it could be that they actually are rebooting the Great Intelligence.
But yeah, we already discussed the Great.
No.
Intelligence.
But when the episodes aren't fully completed in the first place, it could be that they're taking those episodes and remaking them now.
What, like they
Giving
can't?
a modern
if
spin
they
on
if they can't be found, they can't count as continuity.
They might be discounting that continuity,
Yeah.
or they might have it in the
That might be
episodes itself.
interesting.
They might refer to it.
But I
as
don't
it.
think they would do that. I
No.
mean, even if because they know they existed, so that would kind of be a bad move to say just because we can't find those episodes, we're now pretending they didn't exist.
I don't think that they're pretending they didn't exist. I think it might be like something maybe deleted from the Doctor's memory or something, that it might actually be in the show that it happened, but the Doctor doesn't remember it or something. Because like obviously he'd remember fighting the Great Intelligence if it's happened to him twice already.
Yeah, but
But
if there was
when
no
he
explanation
looks
as
at the
to why,
card, he's like, I kind of remember that.
so
but-
you're saying like they're using the real world records of the events as if it's the memory and continuity of that universe. Like if we can't see it anymore, it's deteriorated in their existence.
Basically,
That's kind of weird and very
that's
meta.
how fiction works.
I actually had a whole thing for my fictional universe that involves that, but I can't reveal that because that would give it all away.
Okay.
But it involves that very idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how canon evolves in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, people say, oh, no one liked the idea that the Doctor was half human in the
it's
special.
like that.
So all the writers said,
I like
no,
that
that
as a
didn't happen
concept.
then. Yeah.
It's like how they have that the reverse where people have this belief where, people have come up with this theories how Slender Man is real. Because
Yeah.
enough people believe in him, he's
Mhm.
manifested. And I
Yeah.
was just like, hello, God. Jesus. I was like, enough people believe in them, they haven't just manifested in front of us. Or big, that's
People
just-
would argue to the
Yeah,
contrary.
they would argue the contrary. Apparently, if enough people believe, but then you could look at it this way. Well, I don't know. Maybe does it have to be that enough people believe it is real, or enough people
Enough people
just know
want it
about
to be real.
Want it to be real. Santa.
Yeah.
There's enough children. There's probably more
Well,
children that believe in Santa than
I've
people who
been
believe
to
in
St.
Slender
Nicholas'
Man.
grave.
So you're saying that counts? There was a man.
There
who
was a
Santa's
man named St. Nicholas who delivered children toys. He's buried in Kilkenny.
Okay, the Easter Bunny. You can't say
And
that
Santa
there's
Claus.
someone.
There
who
might be
delivered-
a bunny who really liked Easter.
And Sinterklaas, which is the German one.
Yeah. Well, they're all the same person. They just had different names.
Father Christmas, Sinterklaas. There was a gnome.
He has
so
psychic.
he could fit down chimneys.
He has psychic paper.
Yeah.
I'm Santa Claus. I'm Saint Nick.
We're going off topic again.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. But that's good.
Yeah.
What were we talking? Yeah. So we were talking about.
The trailer.
That's an interesting concept. That, but I don't know if they'll do that. Do they not? No, but do they not have the audio files? I heard they have most of the audio files.
I don't even know if they have the audio files for those entire episodes. I think they only have like written versions of them.
But then the thing about them is they'll be digging themselves into a hole then, because they will probably maybe one day find them.
And then they can just be something cool. They can be like, that's the memory the Doctor doesn't have anymore or something, you know? Like, I'm just saying that, like, you know, they might just write that episode, I don't know, the Doctor, it happened to the Doctor, yeah. Regardless of whether they ever find it or not. It happened. But the Doctor, yeah, they might just write it into the show that he doesn't remember it, or only remembers part of it, or vaguely remembers it.
Okay.
So I think it could be something like that, or that it repeats itself or something. I don't know.
So you're saying if they find it, then his memory can be restored?
No.
That's basically what you're saying. You're saying,
No.
like, because we can't find it, he doesn't remember it.
That's not what I'm saying.
Therefore,
I'm saying
if we do find it, he'll remember it again.
No.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that when this episode gets written, or if it has already been written, it's could have been written about the fact that particular adventure the Doctor had, he can't remember. It could be the same. They could write an episode where he doesn't remember Genesis of the Daleks, say.
Right. I guess. What will we discuss next? We should be scratching things out as we've discussed it to make them easier to...
Move on to the plane with probably the best line I've ever heard Matt Smith's Doctor say.
Yeah.
The plane. Oh, yeah.
Just to build up to that part of the trailer.
Oh, actually, one more thing from the Christmas special. A line I really liked was when he said, "I never know why, I just know who."
Yeah.
I was like, that's clever. That's good. That's a good line.
That's
Anyway.
good writing.
That's some good dialogue right there. Dialogue-y. I love that dialogue-y.
What was the line about the plane?
He's running. You can say it since you love it so much.
No, I'm Doctor from outer space. I have two hearts and I can't fly a plane. Which is completely out of nowhere.
You love it the
Something
most,
like
and you misquoted it. He says,
I'm sorry,
"I'm
you're
the
you asked me to
Doctor.
quote it.
I'm an alien from outer space. I have two hearts. I'm 1,000 years old, and I can't fly a plane."
That's the one.
It's just to fly a plane, but it's
Yeah.
why?
Because he's on a plane. Clearly, we see him in the pilot chair, and he's like, they should have engaged the autopilot.
Didn't he mention already that he could fly a plane, though?
When?
He was like, he was getting flying lessons off somebody. It was during like an Amy episode. He was saying it to her. He was getting flying
This
lessons.
is a modern plane.
Okay.
We'll just assume they're different. Yeah. So that's that. Actually, that plane episode, I'm trying to figure out what does that have to do with any of these episodes.
Probably just figure out.
Okay, the only thing I could think of is the rings of Akhenaten or whatever the hell it's called. Akhenaten. Because I don't know.
We have no idea what that's about.
We partially know what the others are about.
Except maybe the Bells of St. John's. Bells of St. John.
But I wouldn't say that would take place on a plane.
Might be about a plane crashing into a church.
Journey to the,
hitting all the bells.
It's either the Bells of St. John, the Rings of Akhenaten.
Isn't St. John the ambulance service on the call box?
It is actually. That's a good point, Stephen.
Whoa! Well done. Yeah.
About time.
I thought you meant about time I had a good point. I wasn't included. Or else it's the Crimson Horror. Yeah,
could be.
I don't know what that could be.
Yeah.
Okay, there's going to be a plane for some reason. And it just makes me think of Midnight, the episode.
Yeah. He and Genevieve Coleman are on motorcycles.
In London.
Yeah. We don't really know the time period because you only see the House of Lords.
House of Parliament.
Same thing, isn't it?
I don't like to call it that.
Okay.
Sorry,
House of Lords. What?
Are you English?
No, but I can call things what I like to. It's not like I call Paris Paris.
Yeah, I guess.
But some people do for some reason.
Gay Paris.
I'm Irish and I don't call Ireland Era.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Although,
no, not really.
They're on motorcycles. Motorcycles are
that's it.
interesting.
Just
I'd like for Bessie to show up.
There's just explosion.
Bessie was the third Doctor's car.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love the car. It has to come back.
Yeah. Bessie was lovely.
50th anniversary then.
Did we come back like the Aston Martin in Skyfall?
Yeah,
exactly.
it's in a shed somewhere.
It's just packed in London.
Yeah.
It's right next to where James Bond parked the Aston Martin. This is where fictional characters
They'll film
park
it
their
in the
cars
same
when
place.
they don't. When
Oh,
they
it'd
don't
be really
need
good
them
if
anymore.
like the scene from Skyfall where we're sitting in the garage and you just see the Doctor pass by. Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll discuss when I want the 50 with regards to our 50 one. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So what's Jinzo?
Oh, those are those scary people with the masks. They look like Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't play
They're
Yu-Gi-Oh, so
neither do I. I just know what Yu-Gi-Oh stuff
I
is.
only know some Yu-Gi-Oh cards like the
He's
Black
that scary
Tradition.
pink guy with the big green
Brain
dress
head.
and he's got like a brain head and a mask.
He looked exactly like the guys.
Yeah, you'd know him if you saw. He had
Okay.
pointy
If
things
you
on
say
his
I'll
neck.
know him.
I love how there's like explosion written down with a question mark.
Yeah, so they basically look like a weird pseudo-masochist H.R. Giger thing.
Yeah,
That's
cool
pretty
though.
That's cool.
That's interesting.
A JLS the army.
Yeah, they were that group that looked like JLS in leather and goggles.
I was wondering what that was about. I was looking, I was like JLS, and I was like, I know JLS the band, the musical
Yeah.
group or whatever they are. They're a musical
They
group,
looked
aren't
like Diversity or JLS or something, and they had all their gear on. I don't know.
they? Man, they should have a One Direction episode, Doctor Who next.
Yeah,
Where
no.
No.
No, I was trying to think how we could make that interesting. I was
No.
like, no, I couldn't.
No. They're aliens.
That would make
No.
sense.
But JLS as army men with the
Yeah.
the kind of a different
I-
version of the
I-
masks of the.
Yeah,
The
Jinzo
Jinzo
people. I don't think they're actually JLS though.
No.
No.
I don't. Somehow I doubt that as well. The thing about you see Doctor Who, they only ever cast people on Doctor Who that Doctor Who fans would give a shit about.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Whovians give a shit about JLS, so they wouldn't have them on the show.
I would like to see Patrick Stewart in the show.
That'd
Yes.
be
Now that
really
they've had Ian McKellen, they have
Yeah,
to have,
they can
Have to have Patrick
have
they
Stewart.
can
his
get
alter,
Patrick
his
Stewart.
alter ego,
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, on.
He'd make a good Doctor. Well, maybe a couple of years
He'd
ago.
be a good Time Lord.
He'd be a good Time Lord in general, yeah. He can play the next Rassilon.
So that's JLS, the army group. Don't know what that's about. It could probably have
Yeah.
something to do with either has something to do with the Jinzo episode or the Last of the Cybermen,
Mm,
or not. We could
Maybe.
just be entirely
Not at
wrong.
all.
yeah. Okay, so there's that period drama episode with Jenny and Vastra and possibly Strax. We just see a Sontaran in one of
We
his
don't
blue
know
suits.
if it's set in their time. They
We
could
do.
come. Do we? How do you know
Yeah.
that?
Stephen Moffat said in an interview that they're coming back in a period drama episode.
But did he say it was Dickensian period drama?
Period drama generally refers to 1800s.
No, period drama refers to any
Victorian.
period.
Yeah, but usually people
Usually, but
associate
it doesn't
it
always.
with Downton Abbey era.
You could have a period drama in the 40s.
You could,
I'm
but
just
they're
saying it could be.
usually you usually associate it
Plus,
with like
Drax
Victorian.
is wearing the weirdest thing. Or not Drax. Drax, if it is Drax, is wearing his
Blue Sontaran
Sontaran
suit.
uniform.
Yeah, and it's bluer than usual.
Is it?
Hmm.
Probably just
Very
a
bright
legend.
That'd
blue.
look good on your Nan's television.
Yeah.
Where she doesn't have the.
Yeah.
She only has. What's this? Oh, exorcism.
Yeah,
the
they're-
crazy
So
exorcism.
in that
lady.
episode, it looks in whatever episode it is that's set in that time period, it looks like there is some scary veiny lady who's having an exorcism, and
Yeah.
men in top hats without any eyes and freaky lips
Oh.
who look like
You were saying.
a
something.
character from
Sorry,
Sarah Jane Adventures, the Trickster, but a whole bunch of them.
Are there many, like, good episodes of Sarah Jane?
There
There's a
are
couple.
the trickster ones are the best.
The Trickster ones are the best ones.
So I've only seen like a few episodes, and they were like.
There's a brilliant gag where she travels back in time to the 60s and sees a police box, and she's in trouble, and she assumes it's the doctor's police box. She's like tapping it outside. Doctor, let me in! And a policeman opens it up and says, "Sorry, love, do you need to use the phone?"
Oh, that's good.
And then she like calms down. She's like, "Right, we can do it without his help."
So
He was like completely desperate.
then there's
a
a
second before
ghost.
that. There's that episode that looks all medieval and stuff
Yep.
with the painting of Clara in it. I don't know when that's medieval and when the Cybermen episode is set in a castle. Could they be connected, or is it something totally different? Like we don't really know anything about the finale for this season, other than the fact that Richard Grant and possibly Ian McKellen are coming back for it. So, it could be that.
Yeah.
It might just be from, like at the start of an episode, a lot of Stephen Moffat episodes, they have like random scenes and loads of different time periods that never get referred to
Playing
again in the episode, or
Live
like
chess and all that.
yeah. And that was weird, but
Is Matt Gage writing any more episodes?
He did.
he writes like 2 a season usually. I think he's writing 1 of the new batch.
Good. Everything he writes is gold.
Yeah, I think he's writing. I think he's writing the Ice Warriors episode.
Yeah.
I think
so. There's that woman in, like, it looks near enough to Canary Wharf.
Looks perfect, it is.
Yeah, and she's like, she's rather pretty, isn't she? And
she could be talking about anybody, but we'll assume she's talking about
it's Clara. Yeah. And there's all the people.
She's basically Madame Kavarian 2.0.
Yeah, that's what it looks like so
With
far.
an extra
anyway.
eye.
Yeah.
All new. 2 eyes.
Even though I don't think Madame Kavarian was missing an eye in the first place, she was just wearing that.
She wasn't, was she? She was just wearing it, yeah.
It was the style at the time.
Yeah.
I just assumed she was because for so long we didn't know those eye patches before that I just assumed she didn't have an eye.
Mm-hmm. We have that clip of Clara, I'd say it's probably from her first episode, surrounded by all those aliens. It looks like Mos Eisley, and
you know,
all
that's basically it.
Yeah,
like,
all it's missing is
it's just basically like turn left where they're in that weird space.
Port
town. What's the term I'm looking for? Marketplace.
Yeah. There's all weird alien costumes running around. And then there's the scientist guy with the glasses who looks like Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah, that's
from Firefly.
I have to find out who that is.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it is Nathan Fillion.
That would be great.
It's not. It looks a lot like him, but I don't know if it was Nathan Fillion or not. It's not him.
We need to look it up if he's in.
That would be great.
That would be really cool.
He's not him.
You don't know.
I do.
You might be.
I know it's not him.
You never know. And there were lots of explosions.
Yes.
Lots of explosions.
Generally in the Michael Bay episode.
Yeah.
And the final little thing where there was a burnt up, crispy looking Sycorax.
Yeah, they look like Sycorax, but with pointier, bigger heads.
And if they were in the oven for about 2 hours.
Left in an oven. Well, the Sycorax look like they'd spent some time in an oven to begin with. Though,
no, they look like they were just made in an Italian place.
An Italian place.
Like there's some sort of Italian dish. But
with a cape.
This looks like an Italian dish that was left in the oven for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it, I think.
Yeah. Have we covered everything?
Yeah. We covered everything we wrote down.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
everything we thought of. I meant for just that trailer. We still have to talk about the silence and river.
First question.
So, yeah. So basically, where the fuck are the silence?
Yeah.
There's been no. Like, you could kind of count the Daleks going, Doctor Who, as a reference to the first question arc. It's not really. And his reaction was kind of weird to it too. Just kind of dancing, like, this means the question is coming, or whatever.
Which, like, he's like...
He shouldn't be happy about that.
No, he shouldn't be.
But, like, there's been no even sliver of the silence in the first 6 episodes.
Yeah. Which I don't like that. Usually... I've noticed that since Stephen Moffat started, he'll have all this big build up to a mystery. Then the answer will come, but then there'll be nothing.
Part of the answer will come.
Part of the answer will come, and then there'll be no more repercussions about it.
But does he have some big plan for that?
I'm really hoping that he does.
Everything back in a final.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything is connected to other things at the moment. So.
I'm still confused by the Lodger episode and how that TARDIS freaking got there.
Yeah, me too.
They never explained
and how
that.
It's in the Day of the Moon. I'm like, what's going on with it?
It doesn't make any sense.
Like,
who was the pilot of that TARDIS?
I hope he doesn't pull a Lost.
Yeah.
He sets up too much questions and doesn't.
And then say, they're in purgatory. Shush.
But that would ruin that too.
But I'm a person who liked the ending of Lost because I personally felt Lost was the kind of show where I didn't want to know all the answers. No, I always felt that way. I always felt that the answer would never. I always felt all the answers wouldn't satisfy me enough.
Yeah.
As to not knowing what they are and just never knowing.
I think.
But Doctor Who's not that kind of show. I want to know all the answers.
I think generally a mystery is better when like you're given the answer before you're given the question.
Yeah.
Kind of like, so then when you do eventually come around to the answer again, it's like a big reveal. Mindfuck kind of mystery.
Just as long as they don't end it like Sopranos.
Yeah.
They just cut mid-scene.
The doctor's in a restaurant
or where it's something...
with Don't Stop Believing blast in the background.
Or something completely surprising and unexpected. Like, I thought the best thing that they've done so far in this show like that was when Amy turned out to be a Flesh.
That was the
so
biggest
well
shock,
done.
because that was no one saw that coming.
No one saw it coming. Literally, when I saw that episode and saw that part, I was like, oh.
Yeah, like when she just like he just says you haven't been here for a long time. You just go like, what?
See,
because everything else
those are the
you
best
can figure it out.
Yeah.
Some people can figure it out like a few episodes before,
Mm-hmm.
but you will figure it out within the episode that it happens.
Yeah, whereas
that you didn't figure out
totally
till
took
the
me
end.
by surprise at the very least.
But that didn't really have anything to do. That was an easier thing to hide because it didn't have really anything really strongly connected to the arc. It was just a little
aside from
the
side
little
windows
thingy that
opening,
happened.
talking to her. But
Yeah.
even that, you didn't know what that
you
was
couldn't
about.
figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that was the thing about that was we completely got the resolution to that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a much simpler thing to resolve than who are the silence and what is the question and all this the great intelligence and how that fits in everything. He's setting himself up for a big tumble if he's not careful.
If he doesn't sort it out properly, yeah. I mean, I could forgive the Lodger TARDIS bit. I mean, grand. They did show it again at the very least, and they said that it belonged to the Silence, so fine. It was there for that reason. But I mean,
it could just be after Day of the Moon. That
Yeah.
TARDIS just was like, and it just flew off and just landed in London.
or it could have been it was there to begin with on Day of the Moon, and then all the Silence were like,
hey,
got killed.
Take this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
And
Silence had been fighting
so,
it, got killed when...
So I'm interested, like, another thing with the whole introducing multiple arcs is that now they have two really important characters to an arc. They have River and Clara.
Even though I'm kind of satisfied that River's arc is more or less finished, she just needs to be there for when the last question is asked.
But yeah, like all the mystery behind her is gone.
Yeah.
And the only thing we need to know now is how she knows his name, which we know will probably be the first question.
Mm-hmm. So she's just going to be involved in that. So for all we know, she'll only be back for maybe 1 or 2 more episodes and then written out.
It would be weird if when River meets Clara, she knows exactly who she is. Like everything about her.
She probably will.
Really.
Well, no.
I don't know.
We're coming. Wait, where?
About equal points at both.
Yeah.
So the Doctor knows more about River than she does about him at this stage, more or less. So...
But wait, no, yeah, so she has to tell River what his name is, and then she has to continuously... But yeah, so how long has River known... How long do you think River's known his name?
I don't know.
In the journal.
That's the
Because
thing.
she must know it from very early on.
Mm-hmm.
Could be in the journal. She has.
Because she knows it before... She knows it before the doctor... She must know it before the Doctor finds out that she's Amy and Rory's son. Why do I keep saying that? Amy and Rory's daughter.
Don't worry, it's
Because
okay.
I'm getting confused now.
After that point,
The mental state
the
of
Doctor
some
keeps
parent.
knowing less and less from her
Yeah.
point of view, so he can't tell her his name.
Yeah.
So she knows it before that. So
Even
he's
though
going
I don't think that it has to go exactly, one is going towards and one is going away. I think it could happen like bunch
No,
of
but I'm
different
saying from her
orders
point of
within
view, she has to know it before she reveals who she is to the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because everyone she meets after that doesn't know who she is and doesn't know her enough to tell him his name.
Yeah.
So...
There was a point that I made to you before regarding Captain Jack.
Oh yeah, you want it to work.
Yeah, I want to work for Doctor Who. I want to write an episode so I can bring back Captain Jack in this way because it makes so much sense. And basically, River is registered as going to school at the very least. She's a citizen of the 51st century. So is Captain Jack.
Yep, he was born
Right.
there.
So, River commits a crime by travelling back in time and killing the Doctor in the 21st century. Captain Jack's a time agent, and his job, before he became the Doctor's ever met the Doctor, is to arrest people who commit crimes by travelling through time. So then, we see River in prison, and we see her committing the crime, but we don't know how she got to prison, how she was arrested, or what happened in between that to get her there. So, my theory, to get Captain Jack back into the show without messing up any Torchwood continuity, which has gone far too far away from Doctor Who continuity to even be considered...
Not really. Is it?
It is.
Like,
well, okay,
that whole
Miracle
arc where
Day
like
thing,
Miracle
the Doctor
Day.
kind of ignored that event.
Yeah, that was like completely ridiculous. You have to consider that would have had some implication in the Doctor Who universe if that really did happen.
Yeah. No, I could see it being worked out. It's not beyond complete
No, it's
repair.
not beyond repair, but I mean, it's nonsensical at the very least.
Yeah.
But rather than messing up Torchwood continuity, they could bring in Captain Jack to arrest River before he ever met the Doctor. And that refers back to Stephen Moffat's first episode, which was Captain Jack's first episode, where Captain Jack says that he lost his 2 years' worth of memories, and that's why he left the Time Agency. So, by all means, they could bring Captain Jack in, have him a permanent companion for a full season or two, travelling with the Doctor, and after he arrested River or whatever, and then write it in that he lost his memory.
Which would work in because the silence are all about
memory loss and everything. And they have the memory worm. They have everything.
Yeah, they could do it in many different ways.
Many different ways.
Memory worm. Anyway, but they also need to go with my idea and do a spin-off about River and a team of inmates that help solve 21st century crimes called Storm Cage. That has to happen.
51st century.
51st,
yeah.
21st century.
That would be really cool.
Storm Cage. Storm Cage spin-off.
Yeah, that would be like a really cool title for a show.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like the title of the
just
the
the
show
title
is
of it sells it in the first place.
Storm Cage.
Yeah.
Just those words. Like Storm Cage is coming next week. And I'm like, gotta watch that. It's got such a cool name.
Exactly.
Even if they don't have any idea that it's to do with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would work. But anyway, I think we're done talking about everything except for what our hopes are for the 50th anniversary.
I wouldn't mind having the whole episode in black and white, but the only colours to be in it is his car and the sonic screwdriver.
The colour blue, I think.
Blue
you'd have to have
really
TARDIS blue in it.
They had a blue
but I mean,
TARDIS and a black one.
Basically everything that you see as a colour, just the TARDIS, sonic screwdriver, and his car if it's in it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And a stick of celery.
Oh, I told you my idea for a multi-Doctor story before as well, didn't I? My comic relief idea.
Probably. Oh,
yeah.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, so my idea for a multi-Doctor story, which is another reason I should write for this show, because I'm, to get, like, that they'd write it, that a fan writes a fan script for a multi-Doctor story. So completely obsessed with the show that he goes and kidnaps all the living Doctors, all the living actors who have played the Doctor, forces them at like gunpoint or something to perform this fan script, and it could be like for comic relief then or something like that. But I just think it'd be another really good way to get a multi-Doctor story in
without
impeding on continuity or the time war, any of that crap. That it would work really well, I think. That'd be really funny.
I had something I wanted to say there. I've forgotten what it was. Does anyone else have any ideas while I think of that again?
You were on about your ideas for the.
Yeah,
50th.
I'm trying to remember what my thing what I was trying to come.
What else would you like, Stephen?
K9.
K9.
And I'll be happy then. Have him in Tom Baker's costume as well.
Yeah, even if they did have a multi-Doctor episode, so long as Tom Baker's in it, I'm happy.
But wait, who's still alive?
Everything from Tom Baker onwards.
Tom Bacon, yeah.
Tom Bacon.
Why
Tom
am I forgetting
Bacon.
words?
That sounds delicious.
I think the memory worm is taking all of my memories right now. I can't even talk. Remember you said that there was a fan, like there was a rumor, or else it was just an idea that they should have an episode where the Doctor ends up in our universe.
Yeah.
And he's a fictional character, and everyone assumes he's Matt Smith.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
That would be really funny if that was a comic relief special.
That doesn't even have to be a comedy special.
No, it could be.
I'd accept that as an actual episode.
Canon episode.
As a canon episode that he ends up in our universe.
Yeah. And discovers that all his adventures have been fictionalized. And
he just assumes like, oh, this is an interesting thing where like certain universes have identical.
Yeah.
Like there's so much infinite possibilities of universes that it just so happens that there's a fictional show which matches the exact.
He'd have to go and find Stephen Moffat and get Stephen Moffat to write something I don't know.
Yeah, it could be really funny because he could say, "I can't allow him to know that I am actually the Doctor.
Yeah.
I have to pretend I'm
To be
Matt
Matt
Smith,
Smith.
and try and get him to say, I need you to write this episode." And Stephen Moffat could be all confused as to why it's got. That would be see, this is brilliant already.
Yeah. Oh, it just writes itself, and he'd be all like,
he could write. Yeah, he says, "I need to be able to get him to write me out of this storyline." He says because he says it'll work like how once it's written it happens.
Yeah.
The rules will apply to the. Oh, this is gold.
That's genius. Oh my god, we've come up with the greatest idea ever.
And then of course he'll leave, and then the real Matt Smith will come on and be like, "Why have you been such a freak over the last number of days?
You've been acting far too much in character. I don't like it."
You're like, "Tone it down, Matt."
Yeah.
There. That's the perfect 50th anniversary episode.
Mm-hmm.
Unless anybody has anything else.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Like the video.
Oh jeez. That's too much, Liam. Yeah. We can't ask them all. I can't ask all that of them. But yeah, so next episode will be really soon.
When is it actually? I thought it wasn't until like.
I'm not talking about Doctor Who. I'm talking about our podcast.
Oh.
Now. God. Because we'll be recording our top 10 movies of this year and top 10 most anticipated movies of next year, with a much larger amount of special guests.
Really?
Because we're doing it New Year's Eve before we go out at Stephen's house.
Yeah. Oh. I think I'll be coming to that.
There'll be lots of special guests and alcohol. So it'll be crazy. I'll be bringing a whistle. I'll be bringing my famous whistle to calm the crowd down. If it gets too out of hand, I'll just
So that could be our first podcast.
Oh my god!
Huh?
Under the Influence first podcast.
Yeah,
first
that would be a good title for it. Under the Influence, our top 10 of 2022.
Yeah. So I'll tell Liam now that he could maybe. Well, how it'll work is me and Stephen. I was going to ask that we do it today, but we obviously won't have the time. But me and Stephen will have to personally make our own top 10 personally. Mm-hmm. Then between us, come up with a top 10 that we agree on. Then that top 10 will be the main top 10 of the show that we'll go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
We're not going to agree.
No.
We're going to kill each other.
I already know you won't agree. I'd probably agree with most of the stuff Cian says. But Stephen, probably not so much.
Yeah, the main part is the one thing will.
It's the number one. That's the problem.
The number one will be the biggest problem because I'll accept changes to everything else but the number one, and then we'll probably.
No, I think I agree with your number one though.
Or this would be better. We do a top 9 between us, and then each have a single place number one.
Yeah,
then then as we go through that, all of the guests will comment on it each movie if they've seen it as we go along.
Or you could just go like.
Then at the end, me and Stephen will just do. Our top really quickly. We'll just do our top 10, which people don't have to comment on, and then every guest will be asked what their number one movie is.
That sounds complicated.
It is, and then we'll be moving on to the top 10 of next year, which will kind of have a similar process. That. So we'll have all that worked out.
So I think what you should probably do. This is getting far too complicated.
Yeah. Well, look forward to that, everyone.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Oogie Loves.
That's Richard's number one.
What?
Oh, I'll take that.
The Oogie Loves.
So this has been really fucking long. It'll probably have to go up in 2 parts.
2 parts.
So, Alon Z.